Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and today we are talking about Palantir Technologies PLTR stock and SoFi Technologies SOFI stock. We will start off by talking about Palantir's newest partnership with DuPont Therapeutics, and then we will follow that up with some Palantir stock analysis by analysts to determine its newest price targets. Then we will talk about SoFi Technologies and how Citigroup has initiated coverage of this stock, and how the SoFi stock could surge in price, especially at the beginning of 2022. Go and press the like button right now for more updates on PLTR stock and SOFI stock. Comment down below your price targets for SoFi and Palantir heading into 2022. Remember to subscribe and turn on all subscription notifications to stay informed, and now let's get right into today's stories. If you didn't already know, Palantir Technologies, ticker symbol PLTR, is a leading builder of operating systems, while DuPont Therapeutics is a leading biomolecular company. And this partnership between the two firms is thanks to Palantir's Foundry platform that will help DuPont discover treatments and cures for various diseases. Palantir's technology will also enable researchers at DuPont to analyze lab data, including data from the published literature and various databases, to identify new compounds and therapeutic approaches. The best part about this partnership between Palantir Technologies and DuPont Therapeutics is that they have signed a multi-year agreement to continuously work with each other well into the future. The head of Palantir's biotech sector had this to say about the partnership, and I quote, "We think DuPont is changing the way the world approaches drug design by exploring new frontiers of disease biology, requiring a game-changing solution that goes beyond just cloud and infrastructure to drive their research and development and scale with their vision as they grow. We are proud to partner with DuPont and share their passion of working on one of the most exciting transitional medicine approaches of our time." End quote. Palantir's Foundry platform will also help DuPont researchers create a digital twin of their research environment, thus allowing advanced genetic analysis, which will empower future discoveries, treatments, and cures. The CEO of DuPont Therapeutics also commented on this partnership with Palantir Technologies, and he says, and I quote, "Key to our approach has been creating a seamless connection between our wet lab and dry lab capabilities, with machine learning and AI at the center. Foundry has provided us with a solid foundation for us to fully connect and operationalize our entire lab to enterprise, and enable the discovery and development of new drugs." End quote. So Palantir's Foundry platform is not only enabling this company to optimize their decision making, but it's also helping this company develop new and improved drugs. The PLTR stock price is down right now, and a William Blair analyst says that the stock could continue to fall because he has a negative outlook for the Palantir stock regarding 2022. He says that Palantir did not win any significant new US government contracts recently, and that analysts see further downside for the Palantir stock price in 2022. Now, I personally would disagree with him because they landed a giant army contract that he may or may not be aware of. However, yes, the overall number of contracts has slowed, but due to contract extensions and these contracts that they are winning being worth more, the revenues have still increased. The bearish analyst goes on to say that we think Palantir's recent government struggles are a function of the continuing resolution, elevated competition, the lumpy nature of government contracts, the lack of new COVID-related work, and protracted procurement cycles for large contracts. He then gives us a trading range which the PLTR stock could fall into in 2022, and the low end is $12 and the high end is $16 per share. He goes on to say that the primary risk is that Palantir does not significantly accelerate its commercial revenue. Palantir has struggled to achieve the same type of hypergrowth for its commercial division that many of its data analytics peers have achieved. The new sales strategy is showing potential, but we believe that it is too early to bet on. Government backlog has been approximately flat for the 5th consecutive quarter. We see risk that, like several peers, Palantir could be negatively impacted by federal contracts slipping forward. So these are all the reasons why this particular analyst is very bearish, and I wanted to present both sides because you all know that I am very bullish on the stock. However, I wanted to deliver the other side, especially from a bearish perspective. Now, with that being said, I still have a $31 price target for the PLTR stock in 2022. But now let's talk about SoFi Technologies, ticker symbol SOFI, and Citigroup has initiated coverage of this stock, and they give it a clear buy rating. And we can add this to our list of very positive reviews by various institutions. For instance, coverage of an institution on November 29th they have a market perform rating for the SoFi stock, and they give a price target of $21 per share, which also happens to be my personal price target for SoFi stock heading into 2022, but other institutions have increased their SoFi stock price prediction from $28 to $30, so they give it a clear buy rating. Institutions like Oppenheimer have also lifted their price targets from $23 all the way up to $28 per share. On the other hand, we have an analyst from Morgan Stanley with a $25 price target, and we have an analyst from Jefferies Financial Group, which has increased their price prediction for SoFi stock from $24 to $26. Also, we have seen institutional investors and hedge funds buying up SoFi stock. For instance, we have the Advisory Group Holdings Incorporated, who purchased $2,079,000 worth of SoFi stock. On top of that, the New York State Common Retirement Fund purchased $5.5 million worth of SoFi stock, and Oppenheimer themselves purchased $1.465 million worth of SoFi Technologies. This just goes to show that SoFi has great institutional investors and hedge fund backing, which should give us as retail investors some confidence in our buy. SoFi Technologies is an up-and-coming, rapidly growing fintech play, and it attracts younger customers. However, the recent decline in its stock price, which was around 40%, gives a great buying opportunity to get into the stock. The stock has crashed on 3 separate occasions, and this recent sell-off I don't think is any different, because after all of these, the stock has always bounced back in the long term. Now, this does not mean that the stock will not go any lower, because it could certainly do so. However, in the long term, I bet it's going to pop back up. The SoFi stock used to trade between the range of $24 to $25. However, recently, it has found a nice support level at around $14 to $15. But with long-term fundamentals and strong financials and growth, so to me, the stock is very reasonably valued right now, and if you are a long-term investor, you could even make an argument that the stock is currently undervalued right now because it's trading below its fair value estimate of around $21 to $22 per share. Now, I wouldn't say that SoFi is necessarily a value stock or a value play because it still trades at around 13 times its sales multiple. However, despite this high valuation, it has the fundamentals and the growth prospects to catch up to it in the coming years. So, if you are an investor who has a long-term growth strategy, buying and holding the stock will probably create the most value. Not to mention, in SoFi's most recent earnings report, they crushed expectations because they only lost 5 cents per share, while the forecast was for them to lose 14 cents per share. Also, they beat their revenue estimates by analysts and Wall Street because they delivered $277 million worth of revenue when they were initially only supposed to deliver $255 million, which equates to a 28% year-over-year increase. However, SoFi is still a long way away from achieving profitability, so please keep that in mind. However, according to TipsRanks and their consensus of analysts' ratings for SoFi stock, SoFi has 5 buy ratings and 2 hold ratings by analysts, with the average SoFi price target coming in at $25.43. This implies a 73.6% upside from where the stock currently trades at. SoFi stock is currently worth around $14 per share. However, like we said earlier, the fair value price is $21, so anything below that is a clear buy rating. The low-end analyst price prediction for the stock is $19 per share, and the high end is $30 per share, and these are 2022 predictions. So even if we take the most bearish analyst estimate of $19, the stock still has tremendous upside to it. Another reason why the SoFi stock price is falling is that investors are moving away from growth stocks and they're putting their money more into value plays because of macroeconomic factors, such as rising inflation rates and potential interest rate increases. SoFi stock doesn't look too pricey at about 8 times next year's sales, which is phenomenal news because this puts SoFi on par with PayPal, which trades for about 7 times next year's sales. Now, if the SoFi stock price drops below its SPAC offering price of around $10, I'm going to load the boat and I'm going to allocate around 5% just to SoFi stock. The reason why I won't allocate more than 5% of my portfolio to a single stock is because that would be bad risk management on my part, and it's like I'm asking something bad to happen to my portfolio. SoFi Technologies as a company is still doing very well right now despite their stock price dropping, and I think that their stock price is going to rebound in 2022, mainly due to their bank charter catalyst, which will increase a plethora of financial stats for SoFi. SoFi is still a rapidly developing and growing company, and we see this because year over year, their member growth has come in at a growth rate of around 96%, which is absolutely insane. So in the meantime, while the SoFi stock may drop, it operates as a great buying opportunity to either average down your average cost or to get in and start a position in the stock. But what do you all think? Comment your thoughts down below. Remember to like this video right now, especially if you haven't already. Remember to subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next YT video.